Hi, everybody. Today we're going to work on order of operations. So, if you remember in math class, we have four operations in math: adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So, of those four operations in math, we usually do one operation at a time. We either do all the division, or all multiplication, or all subtraction, or all adding. Had to think what I lost. But anyway, today, though, sometimes we're going to get a problem that has not only adding, but adding and subtracting, or sometimes adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, everything in one problem. And believe it or not, there's a certain way that we have to do this. And I know a few of us have mentioned this before, and I know that it was mentioned to you last year, but I want to go over everything with you to make sure that you understand it. So when we get a problem that has more than one operation in it, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, we have to follow a specific order, and that is called the order of operations. Hello, makes sense, right? Order of operations. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our Aunt Sally. Now you're like, I don't have an Aunt Sally. So guess what? Today, everybody gets an Aunt Sally. Aunt Sally is who's going to help us understand how to do this. So let me show you what order of operations looks like. So order of operations are P for parentheses, excuse, E for exponents, and exponents are those little guys in the air. My dear, excuse me on these, they get a little twisted around. My dear, multiply and divide. And they're like brother and sister, they sit beside each other. Because if multiply comes first, then you multiply. If divide comes first, then you divide first. Adding and subtracting. And again, they'll sit beside each other because whatever comes first is what you do first. So we're going to do please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All right. Now, always remember one thing, and this goes through high school. You always have to remember that whenever you have parentheses in a problem, whether it's high school or middle school or college or whatever, or trade school, whatever you do, you always do what's in parentheses first. After parentheses, if there are exponents, you have to do those. And that's those little powers in the air, like when we do cubic units or square units or something like that. So we're going to practice a few problems with order of operations to make sure that you understand we know what we're talking about. We're only going to use parentheses right now. Later, you can use brackets and braces. And the big key for that is you just start from the inside and you work your way out. It doesn't matter if there's brackets and braces. Brackets they look like sideways U's, and braces are those real fancy squiggly ones that look like they include something. And then, of course, we have just plain parentheses. So the way to remember this is whatever's on the inside, the farthest in, that's what you start with, and then you work your way out. Sorry about that. I had a little dog incident. They heard their father come home. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to show you a worksheet that has some questions on it that would be good to work with. All right. So here's our first question. We've got 2 plus 4 times 6 right here. 2 plus 4 times 6. I'm going to write that down. I hope you have pencil and paper close by because I'm going to have you do some of these with me as we go. So back to me. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So the first thing you always do is check for parentheses, and we don't have any here. So then we're going to do exponents, and there's no exponents here either. But the next two things are my dear, multiply, divide. So I can see that I have multiplication here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my multiplication first. 4 times 6 is 24. And then I'm going to bring the rest of my problem down because these numbers are now finished. So I'm going to bring my 2 down and then the answer to 4 times 6. So I said, please excuse my dear, and now I've got Aunt Sally. And you can see I do have adding. So 2 plus 24 is 26. So the answer to that question is 26. You with me so far? Okay, let's look at one and let's give it a shot. You ready? So let's look at number 2. 49 minus 7 times 6. Okay, 49 minus 7 times 6. Write that down. Okay, so let's start with what we know. Find how to get back on here. Here we go. So please, we don't have any parentheses. Excuse, we have no exponents. My dear, multiply, divide. So you can see we do have multiplication. 7 times 6 is 42. So we're done with 7 times 6. We brought it down. And now we're going to bring our 49 down and do the rest of the problem. 49 minus 42 would give you 7. So hopefully you got an answer of 7. Okay? Let's try another one. Maybe. There we go. Okay, I want you to drop down. Let's go down to let's go down to number 8. $36 divided by 9 plus 4. So write that down. 36 divided by 9 plus 4. All right. All right. So let's try it. So we've got please, any parentheses? No. Excuse, any exponents? No. My dear, any multiplication or division? Yes, there's division. 36 divided by 9 is 4. So we're done with those. Bring the rest down and we get plus 4. And 4 plus 4 is 8. So hopefully you got that answer right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a worksheet on here, and it's going to have answers down the side. And I'm going to put a Google form on here. And all I want you to do is to type in your answers once you figured them out into the Google form. And then you go ahead and send that to me. Okay? And I'll catch up with you later. Thanks. Bye.